everybody. I'm not DB Cooper, and this is Mark.
I'm not Sasquatch.
And we're Fire Mountain Outdoors. Today we're just kind of sitting around, just kind of reminiscing, looking at a couple of old firearms that we have, and kind of discussing, what we might have in our safes that, are definitely not for sale. We're talking about heirlooms today. And, sometimes they may not be the most expensive thing in our safe, but, to us, they're priceless. And, what's your take on it?
Well, a lot of times we'll have a weapon or a gun that's a tool. I've got deer rifles, and I got elk rifles, and we have close quarters combat rifles, and things that would have a specific purpose, and those are great tools for what they're used for. But the guns that I really enjoy most are the ones that have a story or have a sentimental value. And I think that that's really common among gun owners, is that you have a firearm that it's not trading stock, it's not going to be for sale, it's not going to be for hawk, and it might not even get shot the most, but it is an heirloom, and it's something that you keep and you keep safe. What do you got?
This is something that was just given to me the other day, and in the summer of 1963, my father turned 14 years old, and his father, my grandfather, gave to him this high standard .22 revolver. In 1963, that was a whole different kind of nation we lived in. JFK was president. Marilyn Monroe was at the peak of her career. And high standard revolvers were the dream of every teenage boy. Back in 1963, you wanted to be a cowboy.
That's right.
And, what better, weapon to have or gift than, a nickel-plated revolver. I mean, this is something that you would have seen like John Wayne carrying, or maybe even the Lone Ranger. But so that's what I was oodling over. This is one of a couple different things in my safe that will never leave my possession. And if it does leave my possession, it's only because it's going to a family member. And my great grandfather used to shoot pop cans with this. Out, working on the railroad, they'd go out and set their soda cans up out on the rails and shoot them off, at the end of the day. And, being that, this is now in my possession, I feel humbled to even own it.
And there's a couple things that I really like about the story with that, Bob. It's just amazing how times have changed. Nowadays, if you were to give a handgun to a 14-year-old boy as a gift, then you would probably have a visit from CPS or for reckless endangerment.
Absolutely.
Also, the story of his grandfather taking it with him, probably in his lunchbox, out there on the railroad at work, and
I have no doubt
lunchtime activities, and that's how far the perception of common America has shifted against firearms in general.
Right.
So that's a great story, and that's a beautiful pistol.
Thank you.
Even if it wasn't an heirloom, that would be a fine weapon to have.
Right.
That's cool. I'd be proud to have that too.
Yeah, I've been admiring this Browning over here. This is quite the pistol. What's the story on this thing?
The story of this is my Uncle David gave me this Browning. It's a Browning Nomad, and it was made in Belgium, and it is just a sweet shooter. And he just surprised me out of the blue one day, and he just gave it to me, and it's a sweet shooter. It's accurate. It's nice, and it was a gift, and it'll never leave the safe. I don't know all the history of it on when it was made. I know it was 60s or maybe late 50s. But it's just a good piece, and it's my favorite caliber. You know, you could sit and plink and shoot cans and that kind of thing with a 22 all day long. That's what makes the 22 one of my favorite calibers. But it fits my hand nice. It's stone cold accurate. The fit and finish on it and the bluing is on a level that you're not really going to see on a weapon today. It's just a great example of an earlier time, and an earlier time where that would be a common gift for somebody to give a boy.
You know, sorry to interrupt. You know, I just can't help but think that these two pistols, these could have been side by side in the same department store. They probably were sitting at Ward's, or they were probably sitting at a True Value somewhere.
Sure.
Side by side.
Yeah.
And they very easily could have been there at the same time.
And the decision, cowboy or semi-auto. Cowboy or semi-auto.
Look at that thing. It looks like a space gun. In
Right.
1963, whoever brought that home, had to have been thinking, they were Buck Rogers or something. I mean, that was a very forward-thinking design at that time. The semi-autos, dating back, in handgun caliber like that, go back to, the early 1900s. But, that design still, even in the 50s and 60s, was very forward-thinking as opposed to, the 6-shooter, or this one being the 9-shooter of, the Wild West frontier.
And this pistol does serve another purpose for me. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with the help at gun stores or sporting goods stores, where if you're wanting to just shop, then they're on you and just all over you and up in your grill when you're just wanting to browse. Or conversely, if you don't want any help, or if you do need some help, it's like Home Depot. You can't find anybody, So my favorite line for a lot of years, and I still use it when I have somebody that really wants to help me and I don't want any help. I ask them, "Can I help you find anything today?" I say, "Yeah, I need a magazine for a Browning Nomad pistol," and that just throws them off. Yep.
Let me look in on that. But
yeah.
Hey, can I help you next in line?
Right. So I have found it only came with one magazine. I did find some online, and I've got some now.
Great.
So, but that slows down your ammo consumption if you only have one magazine.
I know
you
what that's
stop, reload, and with the availability of 22 right now, that's kind of a bonus.
Yes, it is. But it's a beautiful handgun, and anybody would be proud to own that. And being that it's an heirloom, it makes it all the better. That's it doesn't get much better than that.
Yep. So we know that you've got an heirloom that you have a special story about, and that we'd like to hear it. So if you've got a pistol or a handgun that was given to you by a relative, and it's in that category that it'll never leave your hands unless it's going to another relative and you pass it on, why don't you go ahead and leave it in the comment section? We'd like to hear about your favorites.
Yeah, and if you like what you saw here today, you can find us on Facebook under Fire Mountain Outdoors. And if you want to join the discussion there, we're always around talking about firearms and talking about the reviews and whatnot. And if you have, if you want to post up a picture on our site of your heirloom and you want to discuss it and share that with us, we'd love to see it and hear it.
I would. We look forward to that. Hey, you're the reason we do this. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.
See you later. Thanks for tuning in. Well, I can see why my great-grandfather was able to hit cans with it.
Yeah?
Still works.
This thing has the finest trigger ever. Doesn't mean I can hit it. I think I'm hitting it so hard that it's not even twitching, Bob. What do you think?
Well, I think that is probably not.
This trigger would never make it on a firearm today.
No.
feel it.
Oh, jeez. I like it.
Yeah.
That Browning. I think I want to get one of those.
It's you know, I think I've only seen one other one at a gun show.
It's very reminiscent of like a Colt Woodsman.
Yes. Yep.
Load this up and let you fire this old 6-shooter. Reloading this thing's kind of a pain. I don't think it'd be a good bowling pin pistol.
Yeah. You got a speed loader for it?
It's double action or single action, obviously.
Better with it than I do, Bob. You know, this one hits the can so hard that they don't even twitch either. Did I shoot 8? Or did I shoot 9?
Do you feel lucky?
Do you feel lucky, can? Huh?
Do ya?
Do ya? That one was lucky.
That was.
That's a great piece.
Well, thanks
That's
for
a
sharing
great story.
Your story today. That was pretty neat.
It's good stuff. What a great day.
It was.
Yeah.